Get this party started, right?
Get this party started quickly.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of
U-News,
where you can be the reporter. And the reporter of the month, whoever sends us in the most reports that we use on the show, will take home this gorgeous Corn-Fed Life tumbler. We have lots of different colors, and we even have some that are more like sports bottles, and so you can have your pick. So send in a 30 to 60 second report. The description of how to do that is in the comments below. It's super easy, super simple. Last month's reporter of the month sent us 3 reports and took home a beautiful sports bottle, Corn-Fed Life. All right, so what are our top stories today?
Our top stories today, the whitest white and flying taxis.
Ooh.
And we also have a special report by Corn-Fed Craig.
Man, I think that guy's going to win the reporter of the month this month.
Maybe he will. Okay, so let's get started with our first story.
150 people, smartphones out, watched an electric flying car perform a successful test down at Dubai's skydiving range. There, they caught a glimpse of what the not-too-distant future will bring. A gaggle of flying taxi companies around the world all seem to be on the verge of populating the skies with different versions of eVTOL vehicles or electric vertical takeoff and landing. Xpeng Motors' X2 flying taxi is a teardrop-shaped 2-seater eVTOL that can cruise at around 1,000 meters in elevation at 81 miles per hour. The battery currently can store electricity for a 35-minute flight. Bloomberg, reporting on the test, noted that Xpeng is in competition with other companies like TCAB, Tech, and Autoflight for pole position in Asia's urban air mobility's leader, a market expected to reach $1 trillion, trillion with a T, over the next 20 years. The flying car is the epitome of ambition, innovation, and future-oriented vision that has always inspired Dubai, said Dubai Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Hassan Al-Hashimi. Wow, that is pretty exciting. So it looks like the future that we used to see in the cartoons and stuff, where everybody's flying around in the air, is about to arrive.
I don't know. They keep promising it.
So we'll see if they make good this time. It sounds like they're on the verge, and I know I have seen little small electric flying vehicles already out there. So I think it's going to happen.
Well, one thing they can use to paint these electric flying vehicles is the whitest white paint. And I will explain why. A stunningly white coat of paint could be used to reduce reliance on air conditioning after it was demonstrated to reflect 98.7% of incoming sunlight. Just the paint alone was shown in a demonstrations to keep surfaces 19 degrees Fahrenheit cooler than the surroundings by completely reflecting incoming solar radiation. It was in 2021 that Xilan Ruan, a Purdue University professor of mechanical engineering, first developed the paint, and with a new tweak that's achieved the same results with a thinner coat, it has the potential of becoming an industry standard. I've been contacted by everyone from spacecraft manufacturers to architects to companies that make clothes and shoes, says Xilan Ruan. They mostly had 2 questions. Where can I buy it? And can you make it thinner? That's what I'd like to know. The 2021 World's Whitest Paint, for which Ruan was entered into the Guinness World Records, had to be applied at a layer of 400 microns thick, which is only possible for robust and stationary objects like buildings. For things like airplanes, cars, or anything that comes with weight restrictions, 400 microns is too dense a coating to be usable. That's why Ruan and his colleagues went back to experimenting with a new material and replaced the barium oxide with hexagonal boron nitride. The hexagonal structure reflects the sunlight more totally, and the paint also incorporates voids of air which make it highly porous on a nanoscale. This lower density, together with the thinness, provides another huge benefit: reduced weight. The newer paint weighs 80% less than barium sulfite paint, yet achieves nearly identical solar reflectance, which Rune says opens the door to a whole new domain of commercial application. Oh, so they're going to paint all these airplanes and all these electric flying taxis this ultra white color so that they don't have to use as much air conditioning in them.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
And then I guess you'll really see them flying because the light will reflect off of them, making them probably kind of glow.
Yeah.
So
that'd be something to see.
Might be a good safety feature.
Well, speaking of some things that are ultra innovative, we have a report by Cornfed Craig on something that may have helped to win World War II. Here we are. We're at the Eisenhower home. I don't know if that's when he lived there. I don't know.
No, I don't think he lived there for like almost 50 years. Or over 50, right? Yeah. And just as it was in his day as a child growing up, they had a rental fence around the property to keep out the
I'll show
ne'er-do-wells.
you the museum and then the presidential library. I definitely got to go back and see that. Look at that bad boy.
He was born October 14th, 1890. He died March 28th, 1969. He was an American military officer and statesman who served as the 34th President of the United States from 53 to 61. During World War II, he served as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force in Europe and achieved the 5-star rank of General of the Army. He planned and supervised the invasion of North Africa in Operation Torch in 1942 to 43 and the invasion of Normandy from the Western Front in 44 to 45.
That was quite a scheme that they pulled off at Normandy.
Yep. And he was a good old Republican. Good for him. And he was married to Mamie Dowd.
Mamie.
He had a child named John, apparently.
Upon this homestead, a gift of the Eisenhower family. This memorial building is erected by a grateful people of the United States in honor of veterans of America's wars, the Eisenhower family, and the leadership of Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Let's do a quick swoop in there. See if we could see
Fun
anything.
fact, the name Eisenhower is German. And I was wondering what that meant because I was like, it sounds like real German words.
Oh, here we
And
go.
it is.
Here's the man himself.
So Eisenhower is an iron cutter or an iron worker.
Oh,
So he was Dwight D. Iron Worker.
champion of peace. Hey, if you want to have peace, you must have war, right? So that's how he can be the champion of peace. Okay, so I take a little peek-see in here. Wow, look at that marble. Gorgeous. Well, I'll come back and I'll go in during business hours. Pretty impressive for a little bitty Kansas town. That was a wonderful report, and that's all that we have time for today.
Thanks for joining us. God bless and have a wonderful day. See you next time.